What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be testing out this little gimbal, if it works. Yeah, it goes. Alrighty, so let's get this thing recording, or I guess let's get this thing turned on. Turn the gimbal on, hold the button, and boom. Okay. So you guys can see we've got a little brushless gimbal. It's from Zhiyun, I think is the way the company is. This is called their Rider-M. It's made for motorcyclists. So we're going to be testing it out today. I'm going to tell you guys what I think about it, because I think it's pretty cool. Alright guys, so we got this little gimbal, and I guess to start the video I should probably explain what a gimbal is. If you guys have ever watched MotoGP, they have little cameras on the back of their bikes, and when the bike turns, the camera actually keeps the horizon. So in theory this should do the exact same thing. Granted, those cameras are probably much better and those gimbals are much better than this one, but in theory it should work the exact same way. The camera should stay horizontal while the bike goes back and forth. You can see the camera kind of doesn't move, and that's what a gimbal is. That's the whole point of a gimbal. And in my experience, this one's it's not bad. It's pretty cool. So the way this thing works is the GoPro just clips in with these little screws. I will say there is a screw for the batteries in the back, and while tightening that screw on my unit, the end actually fell off. So you can see I've got tape on mine. I have to have that tape there so that the batteries don't fall out. So I'm kind of down about how the build quality is, at least of the screws. So not a big fan. The same screws are used to hold the GoPro in place. So be careful with those. Definitely do not tighten them with a tool. I will say I had my multi-tool, and that's what I was using to tighten it, and I didn't really have it that tight, and it broke off. As far as the battery life, the GoPro battery has never exceeded the battery of the gimbal, so that means the gimbal's never died before the GoPro. Another cool thing, you guys can see the GoPro is actually plugged into the gimbal. The gimbal actually charges the GoPro, which is really neat. So you're going to get extended battery out of the GoPro. One thing that sucks is you can't use it with the GoPro Session. Obviously you can see it's a very tight fit in there, and only the GoPro will fit. I wouldn't be surprised if you could get some of those third-party Chinese cameras to fit in there, but you're going to have to test them out. I'm not going to go through all of them and test them, obviously, but it works for the GoPro because that's what it's meant for. Good God, what is all that? I'm trying to just, for no reason, just lean the bike back and forth so you guys can see how the gimbal works. It's a pretty minimal package, too, for everything it can do. The batteries are in the back and the motor's underneath. It actually mounts with like a tripod mount, like a 3/4 or whatever the hell a tripod screw is sized. So what's cool about that is you can put this on a tripod if you wanted to do that. I don't really know why you would put a gimbal on a tripod, but whatever, it's an option, you've got it. To something I was really let down about, it's supposed to have wireless control, and that would be really cool if it had that, and supposedly it does. Supposedly there's a Bluetooth app that you can get. I tried on my iPhone and was unsuccessful. I could not find it. I looked on their website, I tried to do the QR code download, nothing worked. So maybe if you have an Android, maybe that'll work. I don't know. I don't have an Android, so I can't test that. So the reason I was really let down about that is because that really makes the tripod mount totally pointless. If you could use the Bluetooth app, then you could put it on a tripod and get like really nice pans with your GoPro. But since you can't do that, I'm like, well, why the hell would I want it on a tripod that's already something steady, if you know what I mean? It looks like it's bouncing up a lot on that mirror, which sucks, because that means that the footage might be questionable. It's in super view, so that should be solid. How's it going? What?
I saw the ride video.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. Be safe out here. What's under the cop guy? That was awesome. Okay. Something's getting my eye. So we're gonna move the gimbal to the front of the bike now, and then we'll be back. All right. So one thing I will note, when I first had the gimbal on here, I didn't have these new GoPro mounts with this little rubber piece. I highly recommend getting those, because if you don't, the gimbal tends to, of course, these pieces are better. These are the newer GoPro mounts. I had an older GoPro mount. It was wiggling a lot. So if you're gonna like get this thing, make sure to get the newer GoPro mounts, because that way you can see it wiggles a lot less. Now this is the shot where I really feel like this gimbal is gonna be awesome. So I'm not a huge fan of the mode changing. You see this little button? Press it once and it changes the modes. The way the modes change are absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to show you the image for changing the modes. It's like one click cycles this way, double clicks go backwards, and then you can't go any farther. It's very confusing. I'm not a big fan of it. So here the gimbal is where I believe it's going to work best. Oh good lord, woman. Please be careful. Thank you much. So as far as the charger goes for the gimbal, I don't believe you can actually charge the gimbal with the batteries inside of it, but the little batteries come with a charger, and they plug into a micro USB, which is pretty neat. My camera batteries charge the exact same way. I love when everything charges with the same type of cord, because I don't have to have multiple cords all the time. So the little charging port being micro USB is pretty nice. So speaking of the batteries, they actually look kind of like AA's, but like midget AA's, I guess it would be my best way of describing them. Get you through traffic. All right, so if everything works out, the gimbal should stay upright and the bike should just lean over. If everything works out just as fancy as I believe it to. So I don't know, like the gimbal seems to be shaking a lot. I hope that doesn't interfere with the video. So one thing I liked about this review style, guys, is I'm showing you the product working in what I feel would be the best scenario for it. And I'm going to let you guys judge how you feel it works. I've got it the best way secured I can to give it the most steady shot. So if it works, it works. If it don't, well, then you know. I'm thinking the motor and the batteries and everything, it just might be too heavy for the mounting situation that I have it on. And if I'm not gonna buy a mount like this if I can only put it on a stupid handle. Like, I don't want that. All right, gimbal's on, camera's still going. Let's get back on the highway and let's check it out. By the way, you guys let me know what you think about this this kind of product review style. It's much different than what I've done in the past, so I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. This bike, dude. This bike. One thing I am impressed with, I gotta say, is we're going 80 miles an hour, and the gimbal seems to be dealing with the wind fine. Like, it's able to stabilize the GoPro pretty well. Typically when a gimbal has some type of external interference, like wind or something like that, it'll just like shake a lot and then stop. So I gotta give it props for that. That's not too bad. Still seems a little shaky though. Let's see how the gimbal fares with us taking a pretty sharp right on this turn. It's actually going to help it out because the gimbal's already kind of pushed to the left. I'm trying to get the bike over as much as I can so we can test it. How did you do, GoPro? Alright guys, so we got the Rider-M gimbal. Final thoughts? I think it's a really cool little piece of tech for your GoPro if you're like a GoPro user. Oh, and then it's done. I wonder if the battery's dead now. Alright, so I guess it still works. Like I said, when a gimbal kind of overuses itself, it sometimes just does it. It's just like, I can't do it, and then it'll die. Alright, and now we get the fun time of trying to get back on this highway. Oh, there it is. There it is. If I can just... If he can... He can, because he's on a Daytona 675 all. Okay, so like I was saying, final thoughts on the gimbal? Is it cool? Yeah, absolutely. It's an awesome little piece of tech. Does it do the job it's supposed to do? I think so. With the weight of the motors, though, I think doesn't make it a useful item on bike. So, would I buy one? Not really. I would buy one if I was doing track days. If I was doing track days, I would want that kind of MotoGP look. That thing where you can go back and forth and the camera stays still. That stuff's just cool, man. Build quality, it gets like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 from me, only because those knobs broke off, and you can't have knobs breaking off. You can't have tape on the back of your gimbal. I think it has a really cool use. If you want this for a very specific reason, if you know you're going to be doing track days, you can spend the time, you know, and mount it with rubber and washers and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sure there's a way to make that stable for on-bike use. But other than a track day, man, I can't really say I would use it. I would much rather use my little Hero session camera that I have. It has in-body stabilization. Yeah, there it goes. Whatever, you're gonna stay like that, gimbal. Anyway, guys, that's the Rider-M. If you guys want to check it out or purchase it, I'll leave links in the description. Full disclosure, if you use those links and you purchase one of those, I get a little bit of a percentage, and you don't pay any more. So that will just be for me to help the channel out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this review style. It kind of is similar to my first rides, where I give you guys some cinematic and some info in the front, and then we just kind of go through the item and use it. I think it's a dance with a gimbal now. This review style felt way more natural to me. I liked it a lot. Hopefully you guys did too. I'm Chaseontwowheels. This has been a Chaseontwowheels review, and I'll see you guys in the next video, where I hopefully have a gimbal that works. You guys go out there, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later. Poor little gimbal. You have no chance, dude. You're gonna die. You're gonna just fall.